Okay, welcome to Road Atlanta, and notice in the pic it says no Mid-Ohio. I think the big reason is because Road Atlanta is a fun track, but drivers love Mid-Ohio and revere that as the really fun sports car track. In this picture, we see a gentleman in his race suit on a four-wheeler. They don't really allow four-wheelers on the track, but in this case, he got out there somehow, so I don't know, he's having a blast. So you're full throttle through the S's going downhill. Your body is telling you, don't do this, but you're doing it anyway because that's the only way you're gonna get through these turns. And then you gotta get on the brakes really hard, and then you're gonna make a hard left-hand turn and get on the gas really hard again. So the S's have to be one of the most fun sections of track I've ever driven out of all the tracks that I've been on. Moving along, this is the front straight, and this is quite amazing. There's a combination of street cars and race cars, 944 turbos, RS Americas, late 80s 911s, 968s, and every variation thereof of all these from that era and that time. What a great pick to see all these cars together on one track on the straightaway at the same time. Really neat. Now, this car actually belonged to a lady. Her name was Nancy, and she was a really good driver, but the funny thing was she had been in a couple of incidents before. And so as a joke, we got a bunch of swimming noodles and we taped them all up and put them as like bumper guards on her car, and then wrote little messages on them like BMW beware and stuff like that. It was just kind of a joke, just having some fun. She thought it was cute. She didn't know that we were doing it. We just did it, and then, you know, she was cool with it. Here's a really nice pic of a bunch of cars that Foreign Affairs put together back in their heyday of building these track cars for Porsche Club members. What's really cool about this pic is you'll notice that the cars all have a livery, or the graphics, and they all follow the same kind of graphic scheme, but different colors, and that's what we did at the time. We weren't pro racing, but we wanted to make our drivers feel like, you know, they were in the same shoe as a pro driver and having the same kind of fun. Number 20. Here's a cool part about this car. This was an 86 944 naturally aspirated. This car got totaled in a tornado that hit my shop, and a tree went through the sunroof. So we ended up buying the car and we transformed it into the race car. So that car has a little bit of history before it ever hit the track. And there's Dad's number 50 car. This is great. I'm glad this picture came up because here's something very interesting. We are actually transforming this car back to a street car. So check this out. This car belonged to one of my customers. It was a street car. We transformed it into a race car. He then sold it to another customer. That customer then sold it to my father. Has a new customer now. We just recently got the car back. Customer asked us to build him an Outlaw. So what we're doing is we're building this car back to street. There were no lights, there were no wiring harnesses. I mean, there were so many things missing. Now, street car, we have to have all this stuff back. So quite a daunting task getting this car back to street, but I don't know of very many others that are having this opportunity so many years later. It's quite an interesting story. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.